Want to have that hamstring drop when you turn to the side? I'm gonna show you how I did it. All right guys, I've said this thousands of times, but it's worth mentioning again. The person who taught me how to grow hamstrings is John Meadows. There is no question about it. I beat my head against the wall for years on growing hamstrings. And what I found was what works best for me is smashing leg curls. And he's gonna put a montage together. And I laugh only because he has filmed me doing so many leg curls, he's probably tired of watching it at this point. But as you guys know, anytime I train lower body, I'm gonna start with some sort of hamstring curl. So that's either gonna be lying, seated, standing, all day long. I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna do a shitload of warm-ups. I'm gonna do a bunch of feeders. I'm gonna do something heavy, and then it's gonna be something to finish with an intensity technique. So partials, iso holds, you name it. That is gonna be what I would say the overwhelming principle that took my hamstrings to the next level. So those are the two things, right? Really doubling down on a leg curl and then doing it first, right? When I have the most energy. In my past, what I would do is I would do leg extensions, I'd do squats, I'd do lunges, leg press, hack squat. Then I'd do like leg curls, seated leg curls, and some stiff legs. Guess what those last three hamstring exercises were? They were done with shitty effort because I had no energy left in me. If you want your hamstrings to grow, you have to make them an absolute priority. And if you start with the leg curl when you're the absolute freshest, I'm telling you, that's where you'll see the most result. And then on that leg curl, you have to fight the pain. It's gonna be excruciating if you do it right. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fucking awful. It will feel like you have a lighter on the back of your hamstring the entire time if done right. So we always want to start there. Tip number 2 on how to grow your hamstrings. I want to finish my leg day. If you only have one leg day a week, you want to finish your leg day with an RDL variation. So you can do a dumbbell, a barbell, a V squat. You can use a Legends piece, anything that's going to lengthen that hamstring. So that's going to be the way you finish your legs. So start with a leg curl with a hamstring, finish them with a stretch. And I'm telling you, that's all it took for me to start to develop really big, thick hamstrings. Now, once I started doing that for multiple years, I think it took 5 years for me to get some good hamstring hang there. Doing that, then I started to look into, okay, I'm gonna take my hamstrings to the next level. What can I do? And what I found to work best for me is I split up my leg days. So on leg day number 1, I would start with a leg curl, and then I would do adduction, and then I would do all my quad stuff and be done for the day. Then I'd come back on a Sunday and I would do a volume hamstring day. So I'd start with 3 different versions of a leg curl, and then I'd do a stiff leg or some kind of stretching exercise to finish up hamstrings before I got into glutes. So if we're gonna do that, what types of exercises would I look to add? We have a video there. It's a great example of what we could do is gonna be using a GHR, doing a banded lying leg curl off the floor, and he'll tag that video above. It's amazing. That's gonna be one of your best bets. And then lastly, one of the things that we can do to really work that hamstring through a different range is, let's say on your quad day, you wanna get a little additional hamstring work. Take your stance on the leg press, and instead of being low on the platform, I wanna move them up on the platform and then wide, and then turn your toes out. And then really work the hamstring by pushing through your heels. So again, that's another cool tip. If your hamstrings are drastically lagging, what we want to think about is make the leg press predominantly hamstring dominant. If you do that for a year, you will change the way the backside of your leg looks. I promise you that. All right, so let's talk about this foot placement for a leg press. So if I'm gonna do quad sweep, this is where my feet are. I'm gonna be a V stance, low on the platform, feet inside of shoulder width. If I'm gonna work overall quad development, for me, I personally like a hip width, toes at like 11 and 1. If I'm gonna do all quad, if I think about total quad, moving the most weight possible, this is where my feet are, on this leg press. And this is the Icarian with a split platform. So this is where my feet are, again, for quads, maximal quad development. If I want hamstrings on this piece, I'm gonna take my feet, I'm gonna shift them up here. And if you notice, now I'm gonna turn my feet out to 10 and 2. I'm gonna unrack it. And then now, your range of motion heavily depends upon your flexibility. So for me, right there, and then I want to push through my heels and up. And I actually like to raise my toes off. I just exaggerated that so you guys can see it. More here, come down, come down, come down, bam, up, hamstring. Now, let me show you what some reps look like. I actually like to pump these. So I'm here, pump, pump, pump all hamstring. Like, even with no load right now, I feel my hamstrings just firing like crazy. All right, guys, last thing here. Let's talk about rep range and then frequency, and then lastly, intensity. So rep range here for hamstrings on the leg curls, I like my straight sets to be anywhere between 8 and 12 reps. My partials to be anywhere between 20 and 50 reps. The iso holds to be anywhere between 15 seconds to 60 seconds. And then for any of my RDL stuff, I like 6 to 8, 8 to 10, nothing really above that, because I want to think about slow controlled reps, really nailing the form there. You'll see me occasionally go a really higher rep on that, maybe even as high as like 12, 15, even 20. And that's just me in a contest prep, just going bananas with the weight, because I kind of get pissed off at it. In terms of the leg press, I like the higher rep range there for your high and wide leg press. I like anywhere between 15 and 25, even 30. I'm going to think about driving off those heels, pushing not through my toes and using the meat of that hamstring and really getting a good deep range of motion there to stretch and elongate the hamstring. For the GHR, that's going to be as many reps as you can do. Most people aren't going to be able to do more than 10, so that exercise kind of limits itself by your strength. And if you structure that, 2 or 3 exercises in, then you're not going to be able to go as heavy, obviously, because you're going to have hamstring fatigue. So in terms of frequency, I like 1 to start. If you don't really focus a lot on your hamstrings, start with 1 because that's all it's going to take. And then once you start to get more advanced with it, up to 1 to 2 years of really smashing your hamstrings, doing it properly, what I really like is to add a second hamstring day, 3 to 4 days after your quad day. And what you'll find is with that frequency of twice a week, that's where you'll see your hamstrings really take off if you're truly nailing your form. All right, guys, there you have it. That's how you grow hamstrings, in my opinion. Not only have I done it personally, but with hundreds of clients. If you learn to fight that pain, grow those hamstrings, they're gonna be a piece of cake. It's gonna be a cakewalk, I'm telling you. If you do these principles that I just listed for you, your hamstrings will be drastically different in the next 6 to 12 months. So if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and then comment below, guys. I wanna know what your favorite leg curl is. For me, all day long is lying leg curls. I freaking love it. I'm strong at it. I can move a lot of weight, and it just feels the best for my hamstring. So what are you? Are you a seated guy or girl? Are you kneeling? Are you one leg? Are you like lying? You tell me, I wanna know. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe guys to the videos. We have more coming your way. Chris Evans TV.